Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Miss Faye and this is my world. Okay, today we're going to talk about why you should never co-sign for anybody. Okay? You should never co-sign for anybody. Okay, before we get started, I want to say welcome. Welcome to the channel. And I want to say thank you for sending in your comments, your letters, and thank you for your donations. I really appreciate it. Today's message was inspired by a letter that came in. All right. Now, for those of you who are new to the channel, I will answer your questions either through the email or I will answer your letter online. Okay? At the end of this video, I'll show you a link where you can send your questions if you'd like for me to answer them for you. Okay? So let's dive into this message. All right? This letter was from a young lady who says, I am 36 years old, a registered nurse that works in a hospital. I met a 39-year-old man and we met online. It's already started off bad. Try not to meet people online. It usually doesn't turn out well, okay? And everything was going swell until I made a decision of co-signing with him for a SUV. Why in the world would you do that? Now, I realize that, you meet somebody nice and, they need help and you feel like, you really like this person. Well, people who need co-signers, they're looking for people like you. People like you who are stable financially and can help them out. Okay, so let's see what happens here. We have been together for 2 years and his vehicle shut down. I thought we would marry since he always mentioned it to me and my family members. But as soon as he received the vehicle, I noticed I saw him less and less. Then to add insult to injury, I noticed the mother of his child started to call him more when I'm around. Yeah, because he's probably told her, that you are just friends. And plus, his baby mama probably thinks that he bought the car all on his own. She probably feels like it had nothing to do with you. You say, I manifested for him to find a better job, and then once he did, he was gone. He never officially broke it off with me, but not coming around, no affection, no calls, sounds like a breakup to me. I really love this man, but I'm at a point where I feel I need to get the car back and officially move on. Good luck with that. Good luck with getting that car back. You got a fight on your hands if you do that. You understand? You signed a contract with the dealer for this car, you and this man. And you are bound to that contract. You understand? You bound to it now, whether he pays or doesn't pay. Now, as far as you thinking you can just go over here and grab the car from him, I tell you, good luck. Good luck with that one. There has been word that he and his baby mama are back together. When he calls to update me on the car, her name appears on the caller ID. Yeah, because he's probably living with her. He's probably living with her. All they needed was a car. You understand? That's all him and his baby mama needed was transportation. Any tips on how to move on from such a devastating breakup and how not to go back in this mess. I've never been in a predicament like this. Well, you're young, and hopefully you've learned this lesson. Never, never co-sign for anyone. You know, it just doesn't happen to young people when you get caught up in this kind of snare. It happens to older people too. You understand? I pulled a little video that I want you to watch. Watch this, and then we're going to talk about this issue. Okay? Here we go.
Here's why you should never co-sign, and it's gonna hurt. Rip the Band-Aid. Look, I don't care how much they love you. I don't care how much they have your best interest at heart, because yes, it could be your girlfriend, it could be your wife, it could be your mommy, your pastor. I don't know. Anybody and everybody who you think is the one person who loves you more than anybody else and would never do you wrong. Think of it this way. If a bank wouldn't lend to you, why should someone else, right? Like, if a bank wouldn't lend to them, why should you risk it? And the problem is that if you co-sign for someone, no matter how much they love you and have your best interest at heart, if they default on that, or mess up, or get in trouble, or get hit by a car and don't have insurance, or like something that's unforeseen or whatever goes wrong, it's on you and you're going to get stuck with it. It's not worth it. The name of the investing game is not to gamble on risks with no reward.
Now, just like it said in the video, it's a bad idea for you to co-sign for a person. Now, the reason why they can't just get it on their own, because they've already messed up their credit, if they even had any credit at all. You understand? And this person that you met is the same age as you. So if your credit is good enough, then his credit should be good enough. He shouldn't need you. But there are a lot. I'm going to talk about the men here. There are a lot of men who will hook up with women because they need a cosigner. You see, they're coming after you for your resources. You understand? And if he defaults on the loan, it's going to be on you. You see? And it's not going to be that easy for you to go and recoup whatever that you co-signed for. Because in his mind, it belongs to him. Not you. Not the both of you together. It belongs to him. But you are responsible for the payments. You are just as responsible as he is. Now, this not only happens with the young, it happens with older people too. Older people too. Somebody comes up to you and say, will you please co-sign for me? And, sometimes it works out, I must say. Sometimes these co-signing situations work out. But too many times, it doesn't. It doesn't. Because the person that you need to co-sign for is in that situation for a reason. Because they are not dependable when it comes to making payments. Or they would need a cosigner. You understand? They're not dependable in making payments. Their credit is too bad for them to get it on their own. So they run to you to cosign. This is a very tricky and dangerous situation. And I can tell you dangerous because I know some women that have lost their life savings co-signing for a man to get something. Co-signing for a man to get something. You understand? Don't do it. My advice to you is don't do it. Always, women, protect yourself. Now, if you feel you want to co-sign for someone, like your grandson may need a car, your son may need a car. Well, as long as you can cover the cost if they don't make the payments, go ahead. Go ahead. But never co-sign knowing that if they default on the payment, that you can't make the payment. And also remember that you may not be able to recoup the merchandise. Whatever they had you to co-sign for, you may not be able to recoup it. You understand? It's a lot of women out here co-signing for their boyfriends to have cars. To have cars. Now, when I was younger, I must say, I got caught in this web too. But fortunately, he paid the vehicle off. Fortunately, he paid the vehicle off. But if he didn't pay it off, I was in the position to continue to pay it or whatever. You understand? This can mess up your credit if the co-signer, if the other person that you co-sign for defaults on the loan. And this happens a lot. And now your credit is ruined. Your credit is ruined. It's not a good idea to co-sign for people. Like I said, you know, if you want to help out your son, you want to help out your daughter, you want to help out, you know, somebody like that, and you know that you can cover it if they don't. You understand? I can understand why you would co-sign, but I wouldn't co-sign for a boyfriend, not again. I did it that one time, and I tell you, I was holding on the whole time until he paid it off. And it wasn't a big sum of money. And I wouldn't do it if it was a large sum of money. You understand? You have to be careful doing this. You have to be very careful, especially if you are doing it for a love partner. I advise you not to do it, because love can be too shaky. It can be too shaky. You know, he can love you today and not love you tomorrow. And there he goes with whatever you co-signed for him to have. To enjoy it, he'll go and enjoy it with his new woman. And you will be devastated. You understand? For this letter, for this young lady who co-signed for this guy, for this young man to get a car, I believe that was a very big mistake. And I hope that you learn from this. I hope that it all goes well. I hope that he continues to make the payments on the car and have insurance while he's driving the car. It's a lot of things that can go wrong with this. And you say you want to go and pick the car up. Good luck with that. That can turn into a terrible, terrible situation. So I can wish you good luck. Good luck for that. I really don't have any advice how you're going to run over there and get your car back or money back or whatever. But you signed a contract with the dealership for this car. The dealership is not going to help you to recoup this car. I can tell you that. All they want is the payment. That's all they want is the payment. So now you tied in with this man to make these car payments. Okay? I hope that you learned a lesson from this, and I hope that you will never, ever do it again. Okay? So let's try to go on to another letter. And I hope that I said something that can help you. You understand? You've already jumped into the pond. You understand? Now you want to be saved. I want somebody to throw you a life raft and pull you back in like it never happened. What I can tell you is good luck with that. Good luck. Okay? Now let's go to another letter here. Okay. This one is how to break up with a man. When you start dating a man, and after several dates, You found out that you are not having fun. You have no shared interest and just not interested in pursuing these dates for any reason. How to tell him without being cruel and rude, which I'm not? Do you tell him you're cheap, you're lousy in bed, you're selfish or boring? Lose my number. How do you tell a date that you're no longer interested without hurting their feelings? Okay, number one, I believe that it is polite to tell your date that it's not working for you. You understand? I think you should just tell him. If he's the type of person that you can tell to his face, tell him to his face that it's just not working out for you. And it's over. Now, if his feelings are hurt, that's too bad. I mean, all is fair in love and war. That's what they tell me. You understand? And you don't want to hurt anybody, but you are not obligated to stay in a situation that you're not happy in. So I think it's best to just tell them. Just tell them. And you can preface it by saying, I don't mean to hurt your feelings, but this is just not working for me. You understand? And it's over. If it was anything, if you've been just dating him and just going out and you haven't had sex with him or anything like that, you're just dating him to get to know him, then it should be easy to break it off. Now, if you have been having sex with him and now you figure that it's just no good, because you did say that he was lousy in bed, so I guess you have had sex with him. This is not dating. This having sex with a person is not how you get to know the person. You're just looking for somebody that you enjoy having fun and having sex with. You understand? So he's probably in it for the same thing. And if he's not, then you can just say, listen, I'm not really interested in a relationship. I'm just having fun. Understand? And then he will understand that. You see, and I figured that I'm going to move on. If you tell him you just interested in having fun and not in a relationship, then he'll know it's not going anywhere. He'll already get it from you saying that. You see? And now you are assuming that that's what he wants with you. He wants something with you. And now you're concerned with hurting his feelings. It's best to be clear with people. Instead of, like people will ghost you. I think that's rude. I think that's rude. If you've dated a person, I believe the right way to do it is to just tell them, it's not working for me and it's over. I've done it before. It's just not working for me. And that's it. You see? And most men will respect that a lot better than you just cutting them off. You just ghost them, not saying anything again. I think that's the rude way of doing it. And that's why some people get backlash from that when they just dump people. Dump people like that. It's better to tell them. This way they know what's going on. And you just move on from there. So that's my advice to you. It's just tell them it's not working for you and to move on. Okay? I wish you the best on that. All right? So now let's see. Let's see another letter here. Okay. Now this one is how to respond to a man who wants to know why you're single. Number one, ladies. Let me read the letter first, okay? I've been single for about 12 years. My youngest is 11, and her dad broke up with me when she was 3 months old. I didn't have standards and boundaries back then, but now I have learned my value. Good for you. I've grown spiritually during this time, and it has affected all my relationships in positive and seemingly negative ways, but I'm at peace. I'm 45 now and went from being approached all the time in my younger years to hardly being approached at all. I have not dated because my discernment is high and I don't entertain what isn't good for me. Good for you. Sounds like you on the right path. Therefore, I haven't been on any dates. So what do you suggest is a good answer? I actually told someone it's because I've needed time to grow, and then went on his spell about his growth. First things, you don't know anybody an explanation on why you are single. Okay? That's your business. I believe that the reason this man probably asked you that is because he's trying to get some information on how he can get next to you. That's why he wants to know, why are you single? And then whatever answer that you gave to him, he's going to show you how he's working on his growth too. You see, he wants to show you that, that you're both on the same page. That's all that was about. That's all it was about. He wants to know how to get closer to you. You see, don't take offense or any kind of way if somebody asks you why you're single. You understand? I'm single. And people ask me, why am I single? I say, because I choose to be single. I choose it. You understand? It's not because I'm older or I'm this or I'm that or I'm black or whatever. It's because I chose to be single. You understand? And that's all you need to tell them. That's all you need to tell them. But this man probably asked you because he wants you to rattle off why you were, so that he can see how he can fit into that. He can fit into that. So he is possibly interested in you. You see? So if you are interested in dating, he may be a possibility. You understand? But it's up to you. Dating is a choice. Dating is a choice. And believe me, dating is just getting to know somebody. It doesn't mean what a lot of people think it means, having sex. That's what a lot of people think, that's what dating is all about. That's how you get to know somebody, is having sex with them. It's not so. It's not so. You understand? You can date somebody and just have fun with them because you're just getting to know them and getting to know whether you like being in their company, which is more important and longer lasting than the sexual experience. You understand? So don't be afraid to date, but just let them know right off the bat that you're celibate. That you're celibate. And if they stick around, then that means that they may be interested in you. Now there's some, note this, there are some men that will stick around just to see if you really are committed to your celibacy. They'll stick around for that. And some of them will try to get you to break it, so they can just have a notch on their bedpost saying that they broke it. It's just like having sex with a virgin. It's a notch on their thing that they broke your celibacy. Don't let it happen. Do not have sex with a person until you are ready. until you know them. And you should not be ready until you actually know them fully. That this person is not coming to take advantage of you in any way, shape, or fashion. And that takes time. You can't know a person just like that. And that's what the dating experience is all about. So don't be afraid to date. You understand? Date if you want to date, but just let them know up front what it's going to be. What it's going to be about. And I believe, again, that this man asked you this question because he wants to know how to get close to you. How to get close to you. Okay? So I hope that that answers your question. So now I think we got time to run over another question here. I've been cooking dinners during the week and breakfast on weekends for my husband for 37 years. Yeah, okay. I have mostly enjoyed it until I turned 60. I came home from a hard day teaching young children, and my husband, who works from home, is waiting for me to cook. Yeah, because you set up that pattern 37 years ago. For 37 years. So why would you expect your husband to be different just because you turned 60? Okay? Even when he is off on Fridays, he waits for me to cook. I have asked him to cook or provide food on his off days to give me something to look forward to. He did it once or twice. I feel the disrespect and feeling of being used. Okay. All right. Let's read some more of this before I tell you what I think. Okay. I made the mistake of paying half when we go on vacations. We go to places he wants to go. He takes his luggage out of the car and leaves mine for me to load into the car, unless I say something about it. I have to go with my friends to places I desire. I am really getting tired of everything being to his benefit. After 37 years, now you tired? I want to go places and do things that I like. I have scheduled trips to places I want to go, and I want to be free of his bondage within the marriage. I work and I have my own money for enjoyment. Am I wrong to plan things that I enjoy? How can I get respect? Okay, here we go. Let's start at the first part of your letter when you talk about that you have been cooking for him for 37 years. You have been cooking breakfast and cooking dinners during the week and on the weekend. He's used to that. You doing this chore. You started off doing it and you've been doing it for 37 years. Now, since you're 60, you don't want to do it anymore. You're probably worn out and tired. You understand? So, this is my suggestion on that. Your husband is already spoiled about you doing that. But you did say when you mentioned it to him that he did chip in once or twice. So, try suggesting maybe a day or two out of the week, or maybe one day a week and one weekend out of every week that your husband cooks. Let him choose the day on the weekend, and the weekend including Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Let's do it that way. Or one day during the week. You see, let him choose one day during the week and one day in the weekend. That'll give you 2 days to relax. You understand? And maybe you want to just start him, with either breakfast or dinner till he gets used to it. Either breakfast or dinner. Now, it's probably breakfast on the weekend and probably dinner on the weekday. Now, I'm going to tell you, some husbands may decide they don't want to cook, so they'll take you out. That works for me. If he doesn't want to cook, well then I'm looking to go out twice a week. You understand? Because that'd be 2 times you don't have to cook. That he would not be looking for you to cook on those 2 days. You understand? Just let him choose 2 days out of the week that is going to be on him. You understand? And he may be agreeable to that. He may be agreeable to that. And if you don't mind him taking you out, if he doesn't want to cook, allow him to do that. Give him some flexibility. Because your beef is that you just get tired of cooking all the time. Tired of cooking all the time. So, as long as you're not cooking, what do you care if he takes you out to a restaurant or whether he does it himself? So try that and see if that works for you, okay? Now, let's go to this next part where you made the mistake of paying when we go on vacations. Yeah, that again, you set a pattern. You set a pattern of paying for these things. Now you don't want to do it anymore. What do? The best thing to do is to sit down with your husband and speak to him about it. About it. You understand? And since you've already started, you've been doing this for 37 years, it's hard. I'm going to tell you, it's hard for a tiger to change his stripes. 37 years. He's set in this way. He's set. When you go on vacations, yeah, he's going to expect for you to come out of pocket because you've always done it. And if you stop now, it's going to cause some trouble. It's going to cause some trouble. Okay, when you say that that you schedule trips where you want to go, are you saying that you want him to come along? Or are you saying you want to have fun with your friends? Or what? You saying, I have to go with my friends to places I desire. What's wrong with that? If you're having fun with your friends, I don't see a problem with that. Because a lot of times, if he comes along, you might not have as much fun. So, if you have the opportunity to go on trips with your friends, I say go and enjoy yourself. Now, on the flip side, if you would prefer to go on these trips with your husband, then you know he's going to look for you to pay some of it because you've already set that precedent with him. 37 years is a long time. That thing is like cement. What you've been doing is like cement. And now you want to break it up because you're in your 60s and you're tired of doing it. Go on some trips with your friends and go on some trips with your husband. Okay? Now, as far as paying, your husband is going to look for you to pay. I don't think that's going to change. I don't think that's going to change. But if you feel, it looks like you feel disrespected because he expects you to cook and he expects you to pay. Listen, you set this up. You set it up. You understand? And your husband is used to this pattern. And apparently he's happy with the way that things have been going. You can sit down with him, try to compromise with him, and try to talk about your concerns in a quiet, comfortable setting. Not a shouting match, throwing blame and that kind of thing, because that's not going to resolve anything. But sit down with him in a comfortable setting and just speak to him in a comfortable voice your concerns about being disrespected. Now, if you bring up that you feel disrespected about cooking all these meals and paying on vacations, that's going to go right over his head. because you've been doing it for 37 years. He's going to wonder, well, what changed? Why? What's wrong with you? You understand? Just make it clear what you want, not what you don't want. Understand? When you approach him, talk about the things that you want. But don't talk about that you don't like what's happening and he disrespecting you and all. Don't go that way. Keep it positive. Keep it positive. Only talk about the things that you want. You understand? You want 2 days off from cooking. Start with that. 2 days off. 2 days. You want 2 days off from cooking. And if you want to be flexible with him, say he can either cook those 2 days or he can take you out. You understand? If you are not opposed to going out to dinner or to breakfast or whatever. You understand? That'll give you 2 days off. And for the vacation, if you have more fun with your friends, continue that. To go, plan your vacation every year. You can plan one with your husband and one with your friends if you like. I've seen couples that do that. One vacation with your husband so he doesn't feel out of the loop, and another vacation with your friends. You see? And then everybody is happy. There are ways to compromise, but don't put blame. If you start blaming him for the way that you feel like he's treating you these 37 years, don't do it. Don't do it. It won't work. It won't work. Just talk about the things that you desire to happen and show him how it can work. Once he's agreeable, you're smooth sailing. Very smooth sailing. So I hope that my advice can help you on that one. And I wish you all well. So now here we go. For those of you who have questions that you would like for me to answer, here is the link right here. Send your questions to MissFayesWorld@hotmail.com. That's MissFayesWorld@hotmail.com. Now, keep your letters. Try to keep them to one page. Okay? Just summarize your situation and ask the question. And if you would like for me to answer it through email and not to read your letter online, anything like that, just put it up at the top of the letter. Please respond by email, and I will comply to your request. Now, for those of you who are sending your letters, if I feel like the response to your letter can help the collective, I will read it online and respond. And for others, I will respond through the email. So if you get a response through the email, that's your response. Don't look for it to appear online. You got your response through the email. Although I may be reading some letters that would even help to expand your understanding about your situation. So just stay tuned. And for those of you who are still waiting for your responses, and you have not heard when it's going to air, you have not gotten an email, just be patient. Your response is coming. I really appreciate all of you. I appreciate your comments, your letters, and your donations. Thank you so much for supporting this channel, and I hope to see you next time.